at the end of that game to come on the court the way she did, that is losing her mind, right?
No,
like,
but
you had to have like 4 players restrain her, 4 staff members restrain her.
You see a woman who's angry, for sure.
Yeah.
But she's completely with all of her faculties. This is a conscious choice she is making.
But deep down in my heart of hearts, I've been going, oh, I love this coach. I will go through a wall for her.
Attention. The party is about to commence.
Welcome to the party.
What up, party people? I'm Julie Foudy.
I'm Abby Wambach.
I'm Billie Jean King.
Kinger, you're back, baby. Back from BJK Cup. How was China? How was the cup?
China was fantastic. BJK Cup was exhausting but fun. Watched every match I could. And the only thing is, Italy won again. They won last year, and they beat the United States. And,
we saw that.
It drove me crazy, but I could tell ahead of time. You can just see a team versus individuals. Then the gig's up. So, but anyway, it was fantastic, very successful. It was in Shenzhen, which is relatively a new city. So everything is beautiful, new buildings. It looks like it's New York City, really. But it's truly beautiful. You fly into Hong Kong and then you do a quick trip over to Shenzhen.
Oh, that's cool. We used to go all the time to China back in like the 80s and 90s, way back. And this was your first ever trip there, which blew my mind.
It was my very first. I dreamt about it since I was 8. I pulled down the map in 4th grade all the time. And I look at the map and I go, I got to go to China someday. I got to go. And I've been so busy with everything that finally we get to go to China because of tennis. I had, now it's business. I go. And I am just so happy I finally made it. What little dream come true.
Oh, so
was it everything you expected, Billie?
It was better than I expected. Awesome. It was, of course, we're in a very new city. Shenzhen's about 30 to, I think, 40 years old. So everything's new. It's just been built. Yeah. But I guess other parts of China isn't quite so nice. But that's what other people were telling me. But next year I want to go to the Great Wall and have some fun. I don't know. I've got some plans for next year, hopefully, because I think we're going to play next year in Xinjiang and have it. We started with 146 countries, so it was great.
Yeah.
Went down to the final 8.
I love how you've been home for like a week and you're like, okay, off again. Let's go. I've just navigated the globe again, and let's just keep going. That's how Kinger rolls.
I'm going west for the Dodgers.
Yeah, of course you are. Okay, you're coming to.
I'm just tired. I'm tired.
You're tired?
Listening
I'm
to
tired
Billie.
too.
I can't believe that you travel so much.
Hey, I don't know if y'all caught it.
Be bold. Be bold.
Oh, I like it. I'm sure y'all caught it because this past weekend was lit up with WNBA playoff storylines, including how Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve had, I don't know what you call it, a monumental meltdown. Shanae Ogwumike on ESPN called it a generational meltdown. Crash out in Game 3 of the WNBA semifinals against Phoenix Mercury, and was suspended for Game 4 of that series, which happened last night on Sunday. We're recording this on Monday. And while the Mercury are moving on to the WNBA finals after beating the Lynx in that Game 4 on Sunday, we are actually going to spend some time discussing what Cheryl Reeve did, because it sparked quite a debate amongst the team yesterday when we were doing our call. We weren't even going to do a whole segment on it. We've decided we've got to talk about this. It's so good. So the debate is to whether she went too far, Cheryl Reeve, the Minnesota Lynx coach. But before we go there, let's get started with the highlights and headlines you'll want to celebrate this week in women's sports. Our party starter is brought to you by Ally, the bank that's your ally. Okay, WNBA playoffs, party people. In the other semifinal, Indiana Fever continue, it's crazy, to battle and impress. They have so many injuries, and yet they beat the Las Vegas Aces to force a Game 5 in Vegas tonight, the winner of which will go on to the finals to face Phoenix. And Indiana Fever's Kelsey Mitchell, my word, she finished with 25 points, her third 25-point game in the postseason. Leah Boston had 24, and just like that, the Fever had their third straight elimination game victory in this year's playoffs. And again, with all the injuries, no Caitlin Clark, no Sydney Colson, no Sophie Cunningham.
How are
all
they
I gotta
doing
say,
this?
I don't know.
Well, Mitchell was out of her mind. I was watching that. Mitchell was out of her mind.
Keep wearing that red leather jacket, Stephanie White. That's what I got to say. And then on the other side, as we know, Minnesota Lynx at Phoenix Mercury in that game 4. Mercury win 86-81 after being down 14 points, by the way. Alyssa Thomas had a double-double, 23 points, 10 assists. Satu Sabali had 21. Dewana Bonner dropped some huge threes at the end of that game, even though she started the game actually, missing a lot of shots, and she was huge at the end. As we just discussed, Lynx were without their head coach, Cheryl Reeve, suspended for that game 4 based on her conduct in game 3. We will get into that, we promise. Lynx also without star Nafisa Collier, who was sidelined in a boot with an injury to her left ankle. That was really hard to watch. And the Phoenix Mercury are on to the WNBA Finals, where they will face either the Aces or the Fever. Depends on who wins that game, that last game 5.
Well, what about rugby?
Kinger.
England beat Canada to win the 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup final 33-13. 33-13 on September 27th in front of a record crowd in London. And they had 81,885. I think that's amazing. Yes. And New Zealand took home the bronze medal in their match against France by the score of 42-26. And I was looking things up in research. And by next year, 40% of people who play rugby are going to be women.
Oh, no way.
No way.
No way. I watched that whole final.
Yeah.
I was like, these women, I don't know if I could do it. I
know.
was
I'm
like,
a wimp.
I'm such a wimp. I was like, these women are so strong. It's so impressive.
I was talking to my kid about this, Jules, too. I was like, can you imagine trying to on purpose run into somebody without trying to avoid them? Like as soccer players, we're trying to like avoid each other on some major level. But in rugby, the whole point is contact.
Right.
It was incredible. And the England players, they were weeping in joy. I was so happy for them to get this done on their home turf.
Red
like,
roses.
Can you imagine? Julie, you could imagine you won a World Cup on your home turf.
And that record crowd was so into it. It was awesome to see.
Yeah.
You know
where rugby started? In England, at the rugby school is where it started, invented.
Full circle moment there.
Instead of playing soccer, they wanted to pick up the ball and run.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Volleyball, women's volleyball. We're going to give them a little love in our party starter, and particularly Nebraska women's volleyball. Currently ranked number 1 in NCAA, no surprise, undefeated, 12 wins, 0 losses. And party people, you may recall, Nebraska volleyball set a world record for women's sports attendance. They actually beat, I think, our 99 final at the Rose Bowl. They set a women's sports attendance record with 92,003 fans at Memorial Stadium on August 30th back in 2023. Well, just a couple weeks ago on September 16th, their match against Creighton broke the NCAA regular season indoor record with 17,665 attendees. Again, everyone watching women's sports, another record broken. And Nebraska volleyball, get this, holds the NCAA record for the longest sellout streak in any women's sport, which began in 2001 and currently stands, their sellout streak, at 24 years.
What?
2001?
Yes.
Whoa-de
I didn't know it was that long either. It's crazy. Okay, then the last thing in volleyball, we got to give a little shout out to Athletes Unlimited because their volleyball is getting underway on Thursday, on October 3rd. New format this season is divided into 2 segments. So the first 5 weeks of competition are actually going to be in Omaha, Nebraska, which is very cool. Obviously, a big volleyball town, as we just pointed out. And the latter part of the tournament is going to be held in Madison, Wisconsin, another big, huge volleyball town. So shout out to my friend Cassidy Lickman. She's the director of volleyball there and runs the show. And she's also, I will say, the best beach volleyball partner in the world. And she's
Are you
mine.
partners with her? That's amazing.
Yeah, she's my beach volleyball partner. Whenever we walk down the stairs together, I'm like, I brought Cassidy, I get her. She's mine.
Okay, I also wanted to, I got one last thing for the party starter. I want to talk about cricket. And, this Women's World Cup is starting next week on Tuesday, and it's the Women's Cricket World Cup. And it begins with 8 nations competing for an unprecedented $13.88 million prize purse in India and Sri Lanka. This prize money exceeds the Men's World Cup, which I'm so pumped about, and marks a significant advancement for women's cricket. So this marks a 297% increase in the total prize pool compared to the $3.5 million at the 2022 edition in New Zealand, and even surpasses the total prize money of the 2023 Men's Cricket World Cup. Let's go, folks. That is your party starter. And thanks to Ally for sponsoring this segment. And as we know, Ally is more than a bank, and their Do It Right approach helps customers unlock their economic potential and guides their efforts as a leading sponsor in women's sports. Julie, like us, Ally believes, I guess Julie and Billie, like us, Ally believes that when women in sport win, we all have a reason to party. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoa-ho. Yeah, baby.
All right, party people. Now to the great debate. Did Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve go too far? And let me give a little context to all of this. By too far, we are talking game 3 of the semifinals, which was on Friday night. Lynx at Phoenix Mercury. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, fear not. Okay. Stay with us because you'll want in on this debate. And here's what happened. So we're going to rewind to that game 3 on Friday. Lynx versus Mercury. The series is tied at 1. Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve got very upset in the final seconds of that game when Alyssa Thomas of the Mercury stole the ball from her star, Nafisa Collier, with 21 seconds left in the game. Thomas went in with a clean steal, but then caught Fee on her ankle/leg as she came through. You should watch this. It wasn't called a foul. Excuse me. I'm not getting emotional. Not yet. It's in the show notes, so check it out for sure. Fee went down with an injury. Thomas makes the layup, and the Mercury go up by 6 points, again with 21 seconds left. That's where things get interesting. As the Lynx are taking the ball out, Reeve storms the court and heads on a beeline. I mean, this was insane for the ref. I was like, what is happening right now? It literally took several coaches and players to restrain her. Reeve gets her second technical. She's ejected. The Lynx eventually go on to lose that game. Reeve took the mic in the postgame presser to criticize the officiating. She didn't even take any questions. She's just like, I'm going to talk about the officiating in that game. And that, wow, is a must watch. And this is where it even gets spicier. Here is Coach Reeve postgame in that presser after the game 3 loss.
When you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried not to make excuses. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is fucking malpractice.
That, by the way, was only one of her F-bombs, I believe, of her 3. There were 3.
Yeah, I think you're right.
In a statement, the WNBA said Reeve's 1-game suspension stems from aggressively pursuing and verbally abusing a game official on the court, failure to leave the court in a timely manner upon her ejection, and remarks made in a post-game press conference. As they say, the rest is history. The Lynx lose game 4 on Sunday, and the Mercury head to the WNBA finals. And look, before I let you guys jump in, again, more context. This physical play has been going on for some time now. We know about this. Like, the complaints have been out there. The coaches have been talking about it. The players have been talking about the poor reffing, the physicality of the WNBA. And being dangerous to player safety. Those arguments have been circulating for a long time. And let's also just put a little more context into this. And last year's WNBA final, Reeve said the championship was stolen from them due to incredibly, again, quotes, incredibly disappointing officiating. And it's not just this one play with Alyssa and Fee, but it's the incident that caused Coach Reeve to pretty much lose it. So here's the question, Kinger and Abby. I'm sorry for all that setup, but it was necessary. Did Cheryl Reeve go too far?
You think? My head says one thing, but I must say, as an ultra, and all three of us are ultra competitive athlete, my heart gets in there and I go, God, she's a great coach. She sticks up for her players. She's in there. She's fighting for her team. As a player, you're thinking, oh my God, she'll do anything. She's the greatest. But if you've got my head in it, then I go, whoa, that's over the top. But there has been a lot of complaints for 2 or 3 years now. It's not something that just happened yesterday. So I think they do need change. There's no question. Something's not right.
I don't think she loses it, right? Like, Jules, I think that's I think that kind of language is important. And I think we have to think about this and take a step back and kind of walk through the step-by-step process of what happened. It was an intense moment. There was a lot of energy at the end of this game 3. Mm-hmm. And her player goes down, right? And she sees it a certain way. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that there's anything in that specific play, but this is like, it's a compounding effect over not just the season, but if you go back to the previous season and the officiating being so difficult and not necessarily up to the standard of what Cheryl Reeve really wants it to be. I think, and here, this is not going to be maybe a hot take between the two of you, especially now we know how it has ended. I think that Cheryl had to do something. She had to put herself in the spotlight so that her players wouldn't get suspended, because the players, in fact, are the ones that are on the court that could potentially win the next game, sending them into a game 5. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. When you watch the presser, I watched it a couple times. You see a woman.
Go watch it, party people, because it is
a lot of F-bombs.
You see a woman who is measured. You see an angry person. You see a woman who's angry, for sure.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's completely with all of her faculties. This is a conscious choice she is making, whether it's the right or wrong choice, that is not for me to decide. But this was a coaching decision that she made. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take one for this team.
Yeah, that's why she took the mic.
Exactly.
I mean, she did not, like, to your point, exactly what you said earlier. She just took over. She did not wait for one question.
I agree that. Look, I can't believe that I'm actually taking the other side of this, because I love a good F-bomb. I love a good F-bomb. I'm not going to lie.
No, but I
just don't think you do that on a hot mic. I like that she is passionate about the idea that player safety has to be considered here. And why do we have to keep talking about this? I completely agree. But I do think when I'm talking about lose her mind and a meltdown, and Shanae last night on ESPN called it a generational crash out, I started cracking up, because at the end of that game, to come on the court the way she did, that is losing her mind, right? Like, you had to have like 4 players restrain her, 4 staff members restrain her from attacking. I get that you're upset, but in that moment, when your best player is on the court down, right? Do you want to risk losing your best player and your coach as you're going into game 4? I think that has to also cross her mind, and that's got to tamper it down.
You're so logical,
I love her fighting
Julie.
for her players, but you also got to be present in game 4. What?
No,
Billie, tell me.
I love it.
She's
so
like
logical. No,
she's holding her head for those of you listening on audio.
This is an emotional moment. And if you're a player, which if I were playing, I go, I want her as my coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would be saying. I know, and I go over and try to help her calm down and all that. But deep down in my heart of hearts, I'd be going, "Oh, I love this coach. I will go through a wall for her.
Yeah.
But she's going through a wall for us, for me and us as a player. Is it right? Absolutely not. I told you there's the logic side and then there's emotional side.
Right.
And if you use one and then the other, you can go crazy here and be logical there. But if you put them together, heart and mind together, I still want her as my coach.
Jules, what do you miss the most about soccer?
Good question. Two things. The people. Always the people. My teammates, like you. But also the other thing is seeing the world. I mean, think about all the cool places we got to go to. Even if my mom thought I was in Bolivia, I was actually in Bulgaria. But she never knew where I was. Cyprus, Greece, Mom, not Cyprus, Florida. But like that was the really cool thing is we got to travel everywhere.
It's true. And somebody paid us to do that. Like that, it just blows my mind. To have a job, to be able to travel, to see the world, you know, we saw so many unexpected things, you know?
Favorite place?
I mean, Portugal, Algarve. Algarve Cup.
Samesies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Where, like, why was the Algarve Cup?
Oh my gosh, because you ate crepes all day, you played golf all day, maybe which is why we probably never won the Algarve Cup.
We stopped playing golf by the time my generation came around.
You were banned from it because we never won?
Yeah, we played soccer is what we did.
We did not. We were like, wait, are we here for soccer? What are we here for? Are we here for soccer? We did you do the pottery shopping all the time?
Yes, pottery shopping.
I still have all these plates.
The Indian food was the best Indian food I've ever had to this day.
The best. And the crepes, literally I got obsessed with, I'm going to start a crepe store in America. I had a name for it, the Crepes of Wrath.
Is
that so good, right?
So good.
I had a name for it. I was going down the whole road of like, why don't we have these crepe stores in America? Anyways, Portugal. But the thing you realize pretty quickly, and I don't know about you, but hotels, we stayed in a lot of hotels. And hotels, as nice as they can seem, like you don't have a space where you can gather. And I love the idea, which is what I love now, is the idea of a house. Right? Where you're actually, and it's what I love about the homes on Airbnb, where you can have a place to gather, you can cook, you can, you don't have to spend $700 on breakfast, right?
Yes.
You have it right there. So, and it's not just a place to crash, it's a gathering place, which is what I love about it.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's like so important, the space thing. You know, we traveled so much and we just had a room, you know, and when you're traveling and you're finding these beautiful homes on Airbnb that have the space. And also I snore a little bit. And so it's important for me to have a possible, like maybe another room to venture into during the night. And while you can book a place with Airbnb, it's always going to be a little bit more unique. You can decide it's going to be a little bit more of you, especially with our big family. It's just like the home away from home vibes that we're searching for.
Well, and I like it because we can stay with a lot of families. So we get big Airbnbs and we can have it. And it's a true big old welcome to the party episode. But what's crazy is I think back to all those years we were traveling with the national team.
Yeah.
And I think back, we could have, because our houses were sitting empty, we could have been hosting our homes on Airbnb while we were away and help paying for that dream trip. Why did we not think like that?
Well, Airbnb wasn't existing back when we played. That's probably why. And I think that if like you're concerned about the extra work to manage those properties, just trust me, I get it. And that would be like the first holdup for me too. But Airbnb co-host network, you can find a local co-host to help you with all the details. They make it super easy. And when you go travel, you can make some money.
Yeah. And if you are worried about managing reservations or maybe even messaging guests, that's where the co-host can give you that on-site support. So you don't have to stress about all that stuff.
Which means You get to be out there traveling, playing, my favorite, getting lost in a new city.
Buying pottery.
Yes. And your home is still working for you in the background.
It's kind of genius. You're making memories on the road while you're having peace of mind back home. So find a co-host at airbnb.com/host. Couldn't you also give the emotional side and defend for your players without that? Like
You
getting
can.
ejected
That's
from the
not
game?
her. But
Yeah.
that's not who she is. I want her to be her real self.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
I
I
think
do
we're
think
seeing her
like
real
you
self.
go into game 4. Now, mind you, if game 4 had ended differently and the Lynx end up going on this emotional high and winning the game, which they started the game with, right? They go up early, they go up big. That emotion you can only ride that for so long, obviously, right? They've lost one of their
Yeah,
best
but they
player.
don't have their players anyway. So you're going to need
Yeah.
extra emotion to build them up a little bit. And if you're a B player, you're going to have to be a B plus player tonight. And
But
if
also,
you're-
you don't have your coach. I mean,
and
Eric
if you're
Thibault
an
is
A minus
the
player,
coach
you're
on
going
the
to have to be an A
sideline.
player tonight. You
Right.
got to step up.
Yeah.
For
I think
her
that
and-
one of the things
and
we
the
also
peeps.
have to talk about, because this is an important thing and something I know it's going to be important to the three of us, is if this happens on the guys' side in the NBA, is it making as big of waves, right? Are we so accustomed to seeing women coaches and women athletes basically needing to keep it a cool that
Yeah.
we are not in our minds allowing them to respond in emotional ways, that when that moment happens, when she does actually say what she's thinking as an athlete, as a competitor, as a coach, whatever it might be, are we comparing ourselves to like this? I don't know. I want to be very clear that this is not a conversation that we would be having if it was happening to a men's coach. That like an F-bomb.
don't think so?
No, not if an F-bomb was said in
not
a
an
presser,
F-bomb.
and certainly not coaches, getting really upset. Like those things are never making headlines. Yes, if they get ejected in a playoffs and they're missing the next game, I understand that there's context and consequences for those actions that should filter through Cheryl's head while she's on the court. I do think that both things can be true, that she may have been trying to fire up her team, and it also might have been ill-timed in terms of the way that she did it to prevent her from being the coach. But if you look at the game, there are other players that really stepped up and almost came through. I mean, it wasn't a blowout by any means. McBride had lots of points for the Lynx.
They were in it till the final seconds for sure.
Yeah, they were in it. And so does
and
it
leading
hurt?
most of the time, yeah.
I mean, they were down. I think Mercury was down by 14 points, was what we said earlier in this episode,
they were.
right?
Yeah.
14.
So I don't know. I just think that we got to be careful.
I do think, yes, I agree with that, Abs, that we react differently to women doing that. But I also have always said I don't agree with men doing it either. Like if you're a young high school kid or a coach watching that, right? Like, is that the example that we should be setting? Yes, it's not just this one incident. There's many incidents that cause this to happen, and it's not getting taken care of. And I understand that frustration because it's real, and it's player safety, which is paramount, the most important thing, right? But I also think that you're setting an example that when young kids are watching, or young parents, like we have such an issue right now in this country with youth sports and the aggravation and the pressure and the intensity. It's like, And
well,
so
if that was a parent,
just,
that's different.
Yeah.
That's like you go to like Little League baseball games, you go to whatever, anything like younger. And it's the parents you want to tell them to sit down. It's the parents are the problem more than the coaches, I find.
Yeah, but I think what Julie's
you know,
point is saying is her point is that like, are these coaches and some of the athletes who are having these responses teaching parents that this is how they are allowed?
Are you setting an example? I get it. I totally get it.
Like what if this had been a high school coach, Kinger?
No, I don't think it's good. Nope.
How
I would
would you
say
do
absolutely
it?
not. Sit down. No.
Yeah.
That would be horrible.
Sit your ass down.
No,
I don't know.
No, that would not be good at a high school game. High
don't
school is
know.
different.
I get
and
it.
I think you guys have been bringing up the gender issue. is also something we have to always think about, because we are taught to be different in the way we respond and all this baloney. I mean,
just love it. I loved her.
It's total baloney.
I heard her response and I loved it in the moment. And I just thought, that is a coach I would run into a brick wall for.
I would too.
I don't know how much coaches have in terms of, I've had coaches that got suspended for this reason or that. And I just remember those games, walking into those games being like, I got to be more of myself today. I've got to bring more of myself today. And though it didn't work out for the Lynx, I think that builds a kind of camaraderie and a morale, and it makes me feel like my coach has my back. And I really love that about Cheryl Reeve.
That's the part I like. My coach has my back.
Yeah.
But I agree that she didn't react appropriately, probably.
The disappointing part of all of this is watching in that game 4, Nafisa watching from the sideline without an ability to play. She's in her boot.
That's the worst. And
there was a lot of debate on whether that was a foul or not. When I looked at it, Alyssa Thomas comes in clean, makes the steal, and then catches her as she's running through. I thought it wasn't a foul because of that, because it was a clean steal. But there was a lot of debate. And again, go watch the video if you haven't. But I think it's clear it's not just that one play. It's that, and this has been a topic that's been talked about a lot in not just women's basketball, but women's sports. There needs to be more investment in the pipeline for referees who are doing women's games. Correct. And for the women who are doing women's games. Absolutely. In terms of, and right now, their incentive is they get to go on to the NBA. Well, they've got to keep them in the WNBA, their best, and keep them there. Best,
right.
Yeah. And keep them there. And I think that also. And that is the source of frustration for all of this. Because it's been going on for so long, and you could hear it in Cheryl when she, makes the call for there to be like total change from the infrastructure of how they deal with officiating. Because in the end, as we know, and as we've lived, like if you get that wrong, then player safety is out the window in terms of making sure that, fees available and players are available to be playing longer in these seasons, which you want. You want your stars out there.
Well, I think the coach had long-term plans there. Change is, we need it yesterday, but we've got to do it now. We've got to get better officiating. We just have to do it. And I think she was ready to take whatever just do whatever I need to do to make this happen. I think she was at her wit's end. I think she'd had it. And if she can help make the league stronger and better in officiating, then she got it done. That's a hard thing when you're out there, because I bet she had a lot of different thoughts going through her head as she's giving the F-bombs and all that. I'm sure she's thinking about what she wants for the future, because it's not working the way it is now.
I was just laughing because I was thinking when she was F-bombing, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I got my popcorn out. I was like, wow.
No, I think she knows she can probably get fired, she knows all the other consequences have gone through her head. I think it was just at the wit's end. She had it done. I don't care what happens. We have to have this change no matter what.
It's fall time, baby. Let's go. I am so happy, not for the leaves changing color, because we don't get that in California. Unfortunately, I get it. East Coast and Midwest people, you get these beautiful trees. We don't get that. We get cooler temperatures, and that I'm ready for. I am all for that. And on top of that, we get all these amazing sports on TV. So right now we've got WNBA playoffs happening. We've got the last month of NWSL of the season happening, where they're vying to get into the playoffs. Angel City, let's go. And just like our favorite teams need the right gear to play in, I've decided that it's fall. My wardrobe also deserves a seasonal upgrade. What about you?
Oh, really? That's so good.
I know. Seasonal
That's
upgrade.
why I know. And that's why I'm all about Quince right now, baby.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the elevated fall essentials, 100% Mongolian cashmere,
So soft.
starting at just $50, y'all. Perfectly tailored denim, all at prices that just feel like a total win.
I personally have been eyeing their wool coats because I need them in the fall when we're calling games and it's outside. It's very chilly.
It's cold.
Yeah, it gets cold, right? And they've got this designer look at just a fraction of the cost, which is what I love about Quince, is that this is really cool. They work directly with ethical top tier factories and they cut out the middleman, kind of like us, what we're doing. We want to cut out the middleman. So we think that is really smart. Cut out the middleman.
Yes.
And I've decided my Quince MVP for the fall is the wool cocoon coat. Check it out, Abs. For those chilly nights, because you have to stand on the field and it gets really cold. And sometimes they wear fuzzy gloves. I haven't checked out if they have fuzzy gloves yet, but it gets cold. I'm wearing the wool cocoon coat. It is it's got this high collar. It looks very fashionable.
Jules, do you want to hear what my MVP is?
Yeah. What's yours?
It's a European linen duvet
Oh, you're
cover
going
set.
to the duvet cover set. Nice.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
that.
look, I had to outfit our child's dorm room, and so that's what we got her. And coziness is her most important thing that she was looking for.
Yes,
and
they're
they've
big
done it.
on that.
Quince has done
I
it.
should get that for Izzy.
So if you want to stay classic, cozy, and ready for fall on and off the field, head to quince.com/welcome to the party for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/welcome to the party.
Abs, any last thoughts?
I just like it. I like it all. For so many reasons.
Come here, Cheryl. Let's hug it out. Let's hug it out.
I like this debate. I like the fact that we're having a debate about the WNBA. I know that maybe it's not such a great topic. I would like to be talking about, you know, the winners and not it being something so dramatic like this. But that is also a testament of where we've come and where women's sports are, that we are having some of these debates, even though it's about maybe, you know, officiating needing to get better or whatnot. It's like 15, 20 years ago, y'all, like this was not making headlines. It was making headlines. And so that's the other reason why I kind of love what she did. It's like, you know, she had a moment, probably went over the top on the court, got a little bit measured, figured out, because I think she probably thought she was going to get suspended anyway.
She knew that.
She's like, go big or go home.
Exactly. From the on the court behavior, and then just went for it. Yeah, she went for it. So I just, I love coaches that care, that give a shit about their players and that put themselves on the chopping block when it matters. And that's kind of what I saw with Cheryl Reeve. Sad that the Lynx fell to the Phoenix Mercury. Not that I was
unless you're a Mercury fan. They've been so impressive.
Of course.
I'll play for Cheryl Reeve anytime.
Yeah.
Well, my only hesitation with that is that she's not available for that game 4, right?
Yeah.
If she's available, is that a different outcome? And that's what you should be thinking about.
I don't
know.
Maybe
Yes, you want to make change for referees, and yes, you want to defend your players, but like you also need to be available. They needed you there. You've just lost your best player for game 4.
Maybe they'll play better because of what happened. Sometimes you actually play better for your coach, to show your coach, we're going to do this for you. You don't know how it's going to happen. And it was still a tight game. Had they won,
I would say, yes, she was right to do that. But they didn't win, so I can make the argument now.
Now you can. Well,
it didn't work out, Cheryl, actually.
Oh, well, 48 hours, 2 days later, 3 days later.
Did you go too far? Possibly, yes, because you didn't win game 4. And in the end, you're judged by how many you win. That's the reality. So...
Yeah.
Sadly, the Lynx have not been able to pull off that championship. And you have this Lynx team that was ranked number 1 coming into this playoffs, had obviously had a top-rated team coming into this playoff, and an ending that they did not expect would happen. All right, party people, you've heard from us. We want to hear from you now. Did you think Cheryl Reeve went too far, yes or no. We're going to put the poll up on our Instagram page. Let us know what you think and why you think that, and add to the conversation because it really is an interesting one. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel and click that little bell icon so you get updates when new episodes go live.
And if you
make
can
sure you do that.
Yeah, make sure you can do that. But if you can take 1 minute, just one little minute, we would so appreciate it if you can rate, leave a comment, and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Welcome to the Party Show, where Julie, Billie, and I will bring the party straight to your feed. And another big shout out to Kate Diaz for our theme music. We really love it. Billie, will you lead us in the USA cheer?
Yeah, I love this. I'm learning.
Let's go, Kinger.
Lead it to those Italians, baby. You ready?
Let's go.
Ready? Here we go. Ooza. Ooza. Come on.
You got to count us in on 3.
You got to count us in on 3. Count us in on 3.
I know 1, 2, 3, but I'm just was like, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Ooza, 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 ooza. Yeah. This was Cheryl Reeve.
Welcome to the Party is an independent production brought to you by Treat Media. Treat Media makes art for humans who want to stay human. Forever Dog is our production partner, and you can watch our full conversations on the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel and follow us at Welcome to the Party Show on Instagram and TikTok.